William Lee Adams, wiwibloggs.com. Joining me is
Deban, wiwibloggs.com.
And Eurovision Song Contest 2015 has come to a glittering end this evening here inside Wiener Stadthalle. We're in the press center. It's just a few minutes after Mans Zelmerlow's win for Sweden. It is Sweden's 6th win. We're headed to Stockholm.
Or Gothenburg.
In any event, how are you feeling?
You know what? This was a tough year, as you know, so there were lots of favourites in the pack, and I feel it's a decent victory. I mean, I had about 7. Latvia was my favourite, of course. You know, Azerbaijan was a favourite at some point. We liked Russia.
You know, this was a technically perfect performance. I mean, that screen, you really can't fault it. He did it perfectly. It takes a lot of training, you know, and work to get everything on point, and he did it. The song for me, it wasn't my favorite. I mean, it was in the top, 10 for me. But it's a deserved victory. I don't think we can fault Sweden for this.
No, I think it's a deserved victory, and I think it just confirms that the work was done at Melody Festivalen, because it was literally a copy and paste, and that was the only critique I had of it, that it didn't surprise me. But, you know, the majority of people won't have seen it before.
That's the thing, and we've watched it like 95 million times, which suggests we do like it on some level. It's very entertaining. Now, we have to talk about Russia. This was the closest, the way the votes were presented, the closest Eurovision in a long time. It was really exciting. We really thought Russia was going to win at the halfway point, and I was getting quite emotional as Paulina.
I even thought Italy could have won even at some point, because it was quite neck and neck. And yeah, it was exciting.
I really liked when they interviewed Paulina halfway through, and she was crying, and she said hi to her child and her mother. It was so sweet. And the audience was booing her, and I felt so bad for her. Like, I don't know why I felt it so much more this year. Maybe it's because I think she was so conscious of it because of what happened last year. It was like she was a duck waiting for it to happen, and then it did happen. But I thought she handled it well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I think on some level, first of all, I don't know who's going to pay €200 a ticket to come to an event and boo. I mean, that's just very disrespectful. But on another level, I can kind of get why people are so upset. Because Russia, with all due respect, do put their all into it, but the songs do start to sound a little bit propaganda. Do you know what I mean, William?
No, quite. I mean, Dina Garapova piece, Polina Gagarina piece, but you know what?
Well, even the Tomochevi sisters, it sounded like veiled messages.
But can I just say this, though? Paulina is in a very difficult position. She cannot come out in support of LGBT rights because she will violate Russia's anti-propaganda law, so she has to toe a very careful line. And at her press conference, when she gave the generic Miss Universe answer about my song is for everyone, I actually think she did mean that, but she has to be so careful with what she says because she's in the public spotlight.
But I think also she has a platform, and I think it requires one person to change points of views. And clearly she's very popular. She came second. She could have steered that more in a more sort of human rights. It's a human rights issue. I think the LGBT debate is a human rights issue, and I think that she would have been a lot braver if she'd done that, even if she ended up coming 8th.
Well, let's watch this space and see what happens. Now, in the rest of the top 5, 3rd was Italy, 4th was Belgium, 5th was Australia. Oh, and 6th, let's just go over 6th, is Latvia, because, 365 points for Sweden, down to 186 for Latvia, and then it drops to 106 for Estonia. Can I just say, Aminata Savadogo has slayed the pack. It is now official. She was the top Baltic entry. She beat Estonia, who came in 7th. She was flawless. If that performance was from Sweden or from Australia or from a bigger country,
no contest.
She would have won.
She would have won it. She was by far the best. Yeah, she blew me away. In a way, of course, I wanted her to win, but it was almost unrealistic. So this is a good consolation prize for me, and I'm sure she'd be delighted. I mean, Latvia hasn't qualified since Pirates of the Sea in 2008. So this is a victory, and it's,
And it's a victory for Supernova. It justifies their national selection process. We saw Marcus Riva presenting the points tonight. Perhaps he'll be back with another song in 2016. We are going to Latvia. We are going to Riga, because Riga is back on the map, thanks to who? Ms. Aminata Savadogo.
And we did also cover the Riga preview party as well. So, Riga is firmly on the Eurovision map, and I'm glad that things are shaping up in the right direction. Iderne, though.
Oh my God, this is a crime. This is a crime. Where did she finish?
On 24th. first. It's unacceptable.
15 points.
It's
only 4 points more than Cyprus.
It's just unacceptable. Completely unacceptable.
I mean, the Big Five did not fare well. If we look at the bottom...
Yeah, but the Big Five weren't brilliant anyway. I mean,
but
Spain is unacceptable.
It doesn't make sense to me.
She should have been in the top 5. Top 7 at a push.
Agree. I mean, what do you think happened? Was it just too theatrical? Do you think it was too... There wasn't a melody that was poppy enough?
It was written by Thomas Gieson.
No, I know, I get that, but it was spiritual. It kind of transcended pop, and I think it was too sophisticated for the contest.
It was so expensive.
It looked amazing.
I mean, Giuseppe Di Bella carrying her.
I cannot be... The camera's about to die.
But I cannot believe it. I mean, it just goes to show that Eurovision is just completely unpredictable.
You just never know.
And she is the sacrificial lamb of 2015.
Well, Austria 0 points, Germany 0 points. Can I just say I predicted Anne-Sophie's downfall. I knew she was going up in black smoke because she is a white woman trying to be Beyonce and it doesn't work. Yes!
You've killed me. You've killed me. But you know what? Yeah. About time we got a right prediction, don't you think?
Finally. Who else is surprising to you? I mean, Albania comes 17th. People were predicting her to finish last, but she really, what?
No, people were predicting Montenegro to finish last, and Montenegro actually gave the country its best result at 13th. So.
And look at Israel, 9th place. I think this is, it's a really good sign. Israel, in the past we've talked about anti-Semitism, and perhaps this is a reason Israel doesn't make the final, but clearly they can, with a strong song and performance, slay the pack. A top 10 finish.
I don't think it's a strong song though. This is the trouble. I think May Feingold's entry the previous year and Maura Mazur were much stronger.
But this was made for TV. I think May's performance wasn't geared for TV. Great song, horrible staging. This, everything about it was for TV. And this is a televised contest at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, I can run with that. But I think that there were much better songs that have come from Israel in the past.
Now, could we quickly talk about the semi-final results? I think this might surprise you. Azerbaijan came last.
10th, I know.
10th in its semi-final.
Squeezed in, and we were rating it for a second on in our predictions. But again, it goes back to what you said about televised staging. Staging is so crucial, and when you have two crazy dancers spinning feet and arms,
it was too much.
It was toned back actually in the final because they were dancing behind him. In the semi-final, if you remember, they were in front of him. It was so distracting.
Melanie Renee, Switzerland, only 4 points in the second semi-final. She came last.
So unfair. That was so unfair.
San Marino beat her.
Well, Cyprus even beat her. I mean, I think that was so unfair.
Portugal beat her. I mean, the list goes on. Everyone beat her because she finished last. But blows my mind. All right, in the first semi-final, Russia won, followed by Belgium and then Estonia. I'm kind of shocked Estonia didn't meet our expectations. I thought the staging was very sophisticated.
Yeah, and the tier at the end. I think Estonia is very good, but I'm really surprised that Belgium kind of did so well. I mean, second place. I think that's impressive. But Aminata Savadoga also clinched onto the second position.
And Israel came third.
Aminata is actually the second. Because her second points in the semi-final is 155 points over Belgium at 149.
Fantastic. It's interesting, the second semi-final, Norway only came fourth. There was so much hype about Norway. What do you think went wrong for them at Eurovision?
Well, I think the staging of Melody Grand Prix was a lot better. It was a lot stronger. It was a lot